Hey there, coaches. Happy Tuesday. Yes, I'm late because I had something going on, but I am here and just wanted to talk to you about going from, mess to message, and, sharing your knowledge and helping other people and getting paid at the same time. And, trying to organize and communicate your message so it doesn't sound messy can be pretty difficult. And sometimes, just like, where do I even begin? And so most of us have that same problem, right? We have valuable information. We really do, guys. I want you to remember that you have valuable information. We know that given the opportunity, we could help others by turning what we know into something that can help them. And it's really important for you to remember that, acknowledge that in yourselves, believe that in yourself. um, you know it's so much that it can be, if it put it into a format that can be easily shared, and after trying sometimes unsuccessfully, right, and sometimes we don't even try because we're fearful of what other people are going to say, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Sometimes it'll feel uncomfortable for us, and it'll cause us to stop. But honestly, your personal story of transformation can take on new meaning, not only for you, but for others, when it becomes a story of help for someone else. Story that we had. For me, I'll just talk a second about that. It was when, years ago, and this is so long ago, um, but it was when my sister at 34 was diagnosed with breast cancer. And several years later, my baby sister was diagnosed with breast cancer. And they have both, passed away. Um, my older sister, she lived for many, many years, but she was spunky. Here she was so spunky. She was like, there's no way this is going to take my life. She had 3 small children, and she fought like the devil. Like, she just had that in her. And my baby sister, a twin, not of mine, but I had twin sisters. Um, it took her life within a year, and but she created a website. She created, messaging for other people, and how she worked through this in certain ways, and both very different in their journeys. But that was the start of my story, because at that time I had so much stress in my life. I was a junk food eater. I smoked. I was a drinker, but I was never been a big drinker anyway. But that was where, literally, I was given a moment by God just to stop, and it was just like this pause, and I began my journey of just research. And this is when computers, were just becoming, um, and I didn't even know how to use a computer, basically. But I also at that time was starting to go into school to become an occupational therapist. And so, um, in school, we were given a assignment to do a group project, and that we did it on breast cancer. And so I was able to do a lot of research at that time, and that literally changed my path. Right, I went from being this person to literally moving into a journey that I am still living. It's still going on. And I changed around my whole life, guys. And I let that story be told to everybody. Anybody and anybody who wanted to listen, who saw the change in me, and who wanted, what are you doing? You look different, you sound different, you're acting different. But I also created so much chaos in my life, right? With my family, because I wasn't going to be eating the normal comfort foods and cultural foods, and just learning And so my story became hope for other people, hope of what I was doing to change my life so that I didn't come up with breast cancer. I also have an aunt, my mom's sister, who had breast cancer as well. So it was very prominent in my family. But it gave me the moment of hope and the moment of clarity to change my life, to start making, figure out, right? I didn't have anybody to tell me what to do. I just had to figure it out. And oftentimes, that's where we all are. And we all got the message to go get some education to learn from IIN or whatever, school that you went to for nutrition. And that started our journeys of just learning. And it's so important, guys. It's so important because this story and the way we live it and the way we freely talk about it and the way we stand up for, yes, this is what I believe in. It's okay that you don't believe in it, right? It's okay that you don't want to be on this journey with me. I'm okay with that. This is my journey. This God spoke to me and said, hey, you have something to do. You have a choice to make. You have a path to go down. Continue on this road and maybe end up with the same diagnosis as your sister, or change and start making some new progress and new journey for yourself, right? And so I did that. And I was at a point in my life where I didn't really care. It wasn't about pride. It wasn't about, I was always confident, but it wasn't even about that. It was about me learning how not to get breast cancer, me learning knowledge about what I could do to change and to protect myself. I was never that person who liked medication, even though I took it, but I was never that person that just went with the norm, right? And it just was a journey of, okay, figuring it out on my own. And this is where our potential clients get stuck. They are trying to figure it out on their own, but you can help them. You can create your business and you can create a program that gives them the exact roadmap that they can take. And 90% of that's going to be because you've taken that journey yourself. And don't think that you don't know enough. Forget this imposter syndrome, because your journey, once you get on it, is never, ever going to end. Okay? It's like people who don't want to change and don't want to get healthy and don't want to, learn how to change their lifestyle, they're going to be on their own journey. Okay? And they'll get stuck in that downward spiral. But if they can start to understand that the more they learn, the more inspired they're going to get, those little pieces of information that they'll take from this, and that are going to help them on the journey to increase to capacity, right? To learning more about what they can do to change their body. And you're going to be there to help. You can create the roadmap that sets them on the journey. You may not take them to the end of the journey. Most likely you're not going to. You're going to get them started. You're going to get them to a point where their curiosity takes them further, just like you right now through the schooling that you've had, right? You're going to continue to figure out, what else can I do? What else is next for me? What else can I, bring into my life that's going to bring me abundance? And I'm talking abundance in many forms, not just financial abundance, but just, life abundance, happiness, self-care, love, joy, right? And this expands out to family and what you can do for your own family. And so just remember that, there's an opportunity to turn what you know into something that can help others. And what would you say if you could help 10 people? 10 people. And you probably already have, because if you're around people, your friends, your family, or whatever, they're probably asking you all this information. You've probably helped some of them in some way that you don't even recognize, right? Or they don't even recognize. They're taking that knowledge, and at some point, even if they don't implement it right now, at some point, something's going to come up in their life, and they're going to think about the time they asked you and you gave them great information, and whether or not they come back to you, they may just implement that information anyway. But if you could help really significantly change 10 people's lives, what would that mean to you? Even if you didn't get paid for it right now, right? But what would that mean to you? And the point I'm making there is that start putting that information out there. Start telling people what you do to get, healthy, what you do to manage stress, what you do to get a great night's sleep, what you do to get your hormones in check, right? What you do to just be able to organize your day. It's just general conversation. And if you have those conversations, you normally will get people to have those conversations with you back. And once they start doing that, you start just asking them more. Well, what are you trying right now? What do you want to accomplish? What are you looking to really get from this? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And they're going to feel sometimes like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. I don't even know where to begin trying to do that. And that's where you're going to offer your help in doing that. It doesn't matter your level of expertise. There are people out there with, who have few little things behind them than what you've learned to overcome in your life, right? It would be, there are people out there who have seen you progress through whatever stages in your life that would be happy to pay for your mentorship to help them speed up the process for themselves. Oftentimes, you just have to offer that. Oftentimes, we don't offer our and make them an offer to work with us. Oftentimes, they just think you're on this journey by yourself. They don't know that you could help them. And you can ask them. If they don't ask you, right? I've known so many people that until I've actually asked them, do you need my help? And they say yes, well, then here's how I can help you. And here's what it's going to cost. Right? And so just one of the ways I've helped somebody, through just when I first got started, through friendships and through referrals and through just living what I do and talking about what I do and people asking me and I just giving them information and some, I had one guy that said he traveled every day, right? So did my boyfriend, and I helped him, of course, free of charge. But they saw his results and they had that same kind of lifestyle, and I did a one time, right? Took this gentleman shopping, showed him how to shop for healthier products of what he was using. I created a suggested meal plan. And for me then, and I still use this same meal plan because it works, it's having those 6 small meals a day. And because he was a traveler, he in his car all day long, he used to not eat at all and then come home and pick out at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock and then just turned around and ate again, later on at night. So he wasn't happy with his whole situation, was sluggish, wasn't feeling good, bloated, gassy, all of those things, right? But I created a suggested meal plan, took him to the grocery store, and then showed him what to do. And I charged him $500 for a one-time thing. Do you know he had such success with that? He showed his wife what to do. They now live that great, healthier life. And this has been 7 years ago, and they're still, they are good. They have maintained. They now knew what products to choose. They now knew what food to choose. They now knew that what worked for their body. So the more you talk to people, maybe you don't want to coach people every day or every week or on this big long program. These are some of the things that you can do. You can, hey, I can take you to the grocery store. Who doesn't love to do that? I mean, we all have to shop anyway, right? And I used to love to take them. And most times I took them to Whole Foods, but there were some clients that I had where I took to the local grocery store because that was their budget, right? And even there, you can find the great products. That is a great opportunity for you to make little money. And $500 is worth that 2.5 hours that I spent with him, right? Because the meal plan was basically made up before. It's kind of a general outline. I kind of use the same recipes for the most part, right? Unless somebody was on a totally different, like, if someone was vegan or, something like that, I would change it up a little bit. But I basically have the outline all ready to go. So this is what I talk about when I talk about rinse and repeat business. Rinse and repeat program and business for yourself. I already had that. I just had to go in and tweak it a little for each different customer and client. So that was all done. Yes, I took the time, 30 minutes, to go over it with him and really explain some of it. Okay. And then I went grocery shopping with him. We met at the store. We went through the grocery store. We bought products. He actually shopped when I was there and got about 3 bags full or 4 bags full. I don't remember at that time, but he paid for them. And we then stood there and went over the plan, and it was awesome. I had a pre-call with him beforehand to explain what we were going to do, because we had talked a little bit here and there, so we kind of already had a plan. But I just said, here's what we're going to do, and I charged him $500. And if he wanted a follow-up, it was going to be extra money for that follow-up. So whatever your hourly rate is, right? And that is such a powerful thing that you can do to engage people. So don't not think about that. Talk to as many people as you can, guys, just in general. Just about, if somebody asks you about, oh, you're looking good, what are you doing, or what would you do for this, tell them. Talk to them, find out more about them, find out what they want to do in life, find out what they want to do and create a journey. Are they interested in that? Like, do they want to make changes in their life, right? Ask them about their family, because maybe it's not really them, but maybe it's their spouse or their kids that they really want to help. And this can certainly help them. You teach her, and then they teach them. Maybe it's a mom who wants to help her, teenage daughter or son get healthier and start, transitioning into a better lifestyle, right? But she doesn't know where to start, because as a mom, she's just cooking whatever, and her daughter's eating whatever. You help the mom make better choices, and then she's going to help the kids by making better choices, by just having the better foods in the house. So there's so many ways that you can work this, guys. And I'm going to start talking about different situations that I've been in, and different coaching things that I've done, and different networking things that I've done. But this is one way, a great way for you to jumpstart your business. Grocery store tours are the bomb. And I'll talk more about them maybe on the next one. Grocery store tours is a great way for you to get your business jump started. Okay. Comment below if you want to hear about how to do a grocery store tour and how I charged, and some of the things that I brought with me to give them as handouts. And we can do that. Let's see how many people want to hear about that. If I can get 10 people to comment below that they want to hear about the grocery store tour and how I did it, then I will come and do that live video for you. But for now, this is a one-time, right? Grocery store and suggested meal plan that you can do for clients. And again, charge $500 because that is worth your time, and it's something that is long lasting for people. So hope to see you. Comment below and have a good Tuesday. Sorry for being late, but you know, again, I try, right? I'm usually pretty good. I hope this is helpful for you. Bye for now.